My name is Michael, and myself and Nakawe are going to be leading this retreat. The theme of the retreat is living Dharma, working with fear, working with different fears, anxieties, the repetitive worry mind, and basically working with it within the framework of insight practice. Of course, there are a lot of different ways to work with fear, but what we're going to be looking at during the weekend, what we'll explore together, is what methods, what practices within this particular tradition have been particularly useful to me in my own path in working with fear. And so I've chosen different aspects of the practice to emphasize, and what we'll be looking at is wise effort and practicing wise view in relationship to these energies, seeing if we can hold or relate to them in a way that leads to more wisdom and more compassion. And what I'd like us to do, even right now, starting today, is to take up a mindfulness practice around working with fear. And the practice that I would encourage us to do is to see if there's 3 times during the day when we can recognize and acknowledge that one of these energies, fear, anxiety, worry, has arisen, and basically be aware of the conditions in which it arises, but also noticing basically what we're doing with it. How are we holding it? So the homework is to be mindful, to acknowledge it, and then to see if you can be aware of the characteristics of the fear and anxiety. In other words, how is this energy expressing itself? And not through the thinking, analyzing process, but more just through silent observation. So if we were watching anxiety, we might notice physical sensations. So that's one suggestion I have leading into our home retreat. Is a basic mindfulness practice, but one that can be extremely liberating. So once again, inviting you to our weekend, practicing at home rather than a residential retreat, but there's so much value in bringing the practice into our home.
Hi, my name is Nakawe, and I'll be with Michael this weekend doing this home retreat around fear. And this retreat is a gift when we could take time off of our busy lives and just do the practice, make an intention for the weekend to do the practice and work around fear. So I will be guiding you in the afternoon sessions around the heart practices, because what happens with fear and with a lot of emotions, the body gets constricted. We get tight, we get tense, and the heart can close. So one of the practices that the Buddha gave to deal with fear is the metta practice, which is loving kindness. And this is one of the practices that I'll be working with you this in the afternoon during the weekend. So the more that we can cultivate these qualities of the heart, when these difficult emotions such as fear, anxiety, restlessness come up in our lives, which they're going to come up. We're human beings, and this is how it's going to be. So we have these tools that we can work with, that we can work with all these difficult emotions, so that opening the heart with loving kindness, with compassion, we can, as these difficult emotions arise, we can use the whole context, the whole heart, just kind of just hold in kindness whatever's coming up, so that we can investigate it, so that we could be with it. So as Michael had recommended about fear, working with fear even now, from now, seeing when it's coming up, we can just add some kindness. Can we add loving kindness to the way that we're holding it, so that we're not tightening up, and we can relax a little bit and see and explore, oh, this is fear.